Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. We are in GT2 today, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, racing in GT3 last week made racing this a lot easier. And you're gonna see that going forward. So, ended up going on the AstroTurf, had to let off the gas a little bit of rubbing from a Porsche behind me. Not enough to really mess with the race too much though. Trying to get through turn one without becoming a bit of a pancake. Luckily, we survived the turn one chaos. Now to get into this little S-bend at Hakone. Getting around this next turn quite easily, but until I get smacked off the track, we're just going to go ahead and play the replay here. I don't think that was intentional. Probably just didn't see me until it was too late, so either way, we're going to go ahead and start catching up. It's only lap one. I still got 23 laps, well, 23 and a half now, to catch up. Going into this little right-hander. We're going to do battle with SPV Scumos. And I don't know if maybe he was just a bad day, or if maybe he comes from Call of Duty days, like my buddy Unearthly said, that some people with the 3 capital letters might be coming from. Because as of right now, going off a skill level, I should not be faster than any of the pro teams, if I do say so myself. I am just an amateur, so if there's any pros on the track, chances are I'm not going to get anywhere close to them, and that's just me being brutally honest with myself and all of you guys. Anyways, going into turn one, SPV Scumos is doing a good job at putting pressure on. We ended up getting past a guy who was facing sideways, probably doing some Tokyo Drift style stuff, so not quite sure what was going on there. Going through this S-bend. Scumos right behind me, putting on some pressure. We get around another guy who probably got spun out or something, getting us up to 19th as of right now. Scumos looking for an opportunity. Goes and takes it, going around on the inside, but gets a little bit of an extra rumble strip. Lose control of the Porsche there. Letting me right back around him. Not really the type of race I was expecting out of a, I don't want to say a pro team, but questionable teammate. Anyways, I'm not trying to talk shit about a racing team whatsoever, but like I said, I don't think I'm among good enough to hang with the pros as good as I am right now. So he's either new to the team, or he's rough night, or just from a whole different game genre as far as the 3 capital letters are concerned. But anyways, taking up right behind him in the Porsche, trying to get right into his draft just so I don't lose too much time to him. I did tune the car a little bit more to my liking. I have the back end a little bit more stable, as I do like my cars a little more planted than some of you guys. And by some of you guys, I mean a majority of the fast player base. Scumos is drifting around this little right-hander here. Probably not a good idea as far as speed is concerned. Although you do want to get these cars pointed in the direction you need to go as soon as possible, but I don't think Hakone is an exception to that rule, or is an exception to that rule, one of the two. And with a slightly better lap time, I'm going to have to pay attention to this and mark it down. In fact, let me go ahead and get this up and going. There we go. Hakone. Corvette. I got this ready for my personal best lap time as I catch up to Scumos. Trying to get up in on the inside, get a little bit of AstroTurf. I struggle to keep the car under control. end up tapping into Skumos. I give him the position there because, well, that was 100% my fault. No way around it. And he's going to get some AstroTurf as well and slowly start spinning out. Gonna just leave that one alone. It was probably more my fault anyway, since I did tap him before we went into that double right-hander there. Someone should probably name these turns. I think that double right-hander is going to be the Samurai from now on. Anyways, we're trying to catch up to Lokes 5231 as of right now. Slowly managing to do so. We've also got, I see Nords something. I see the first 4 letters. I don't quite know what his gamer tag is as of right now. But he's doing battle with the Porsche that I'm trying to catch up to, and so far, really closing this gap quite nicely. Tucking up on the inside, getting around him just nice and easily. Nordclife Fusion, that's the name, as I miss my braking point and go off course here. Spent a little bit of too much effort trying to get past Lokes in the Porsche there. That is 100% my fault. Anyways, going around Samurai, and now going into, what are we going to name this section? I'm thinking... Something will come up to me. Something will come up. But anyways, now that we are around Lokes there, we got Skumos behind me as well. Turn 1, I'm probably going to refer to as anime for the time being. I'm just trying to think of anything of Japanese culture or anything like that. So, and was going around anime there, going into, this will be Katana. So anime, Katana, yeah, anime is turn 1, Katana is that little S-bend. Going into Samurai, which is this double right-hander that we are getting up to as we catch up to Nordclife Fusion here. I'm gonna refer to him as Fusion here as we go through Samurai. Up on the outside, and we are gonna go into... I'm gonna call this Nissan Bend for remainder of the video. Anyways, getting around Nissan Bend, we catch up to Deep Winter, who's gonna get a little too close for comfort, getting a better lap time as of right now. Getting around him quite easily. VA Bud Smoker now we are caught up to as we go through anime. Going into Katana now. I catch up to him way too fast. I should have let off there, but I decided to stay in it and ended up tapping into him, so no chance at a better lap time, where Fusion is going to start catching up to me again. Going into Samurai, I get a little tap from Fusion there. Trying to get around VA Bud Smoker right now. Right on his bumper as of right now. Getting a little bit of a Corvette versus BMW action right now. Going through Nissan Bend right now. Fusion looking for a move, but cannot seem to find an opening. Trying not to go into VA Bud Smoker here, though. Get a nice little tap from Fusion there. And going slightly wide as we go into anime, but so far I think I have better gearing than VA Bud Smoker there. I managed to get right beside him. He taps me. I recover the car real nicely. Get a nice little tap from him again, where Fusion takes full advantage of our little Forza glue and gets around both of us, taking 12th place from both of us. as we go through, what was this, Katana I named it. Anyways, going around this straightaway, get right back around Fusion once again. I think we're going to have a nice little battle for a little bit. Medium tires are living quite nicely. Fusion getting right on my backside, giving me a little bit of aero wash, because for those that don't know, the aero wash in this game is backwards and broken. So where he should be struggling to keep his car focused and stable, instead I'm going to be the one to be struggling to keep the car stable. Anyways, we got Sean, I honestly don't know how to pronounce that. I do kind of feel bad. But he was in the pits. We got Comrade in the pits. Jumping straight up in the 6th place. But don't forget, we have 24 laps. We are on lap 9. So about, what is that? Another 15 to go. And my medium tires are about 2/3 of the way gone. So we're just going to go through Katana here, and we're going to call this Toyota Pass, this little straightaway. Hope you guys don't mind my naming scheme for Hakone. I do not copyright all of this, so if you guys come up with better names for these turns other than what I've got, then feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, we got minor tire wear on my front left tire as of right now, but I'm going to go ahead and try and get one more lap out of these. I've seen a lot of the pros go all the way to severe, and that's what I'm going to try and do from now on, because I feel like that's the way better strategy. Granted, minor tire wear is still kind of sketchy as far as getting around on, but either way, catching up to first place, believe it or not. I did a lot let off there because I didn't quite know what he was going to do. I didn't know if he was going to go into my lane because he probably thought, or he could have thought I was far enough away, or if he was going to try and play it safe and stay the defensive line. But either way, I ended up letting off because I wasn't going to take that risk. And now it is going to be pretty even going through Toyota Pass. Going into Samurai now. He's going to slowly pull away because he is on fresher tires. I'm on a minor tire wear as of right now. I'm actually going to go ahead and pit this lap. If I recall correctly, I throw another set of mediums on, so gonna have that going for us as we go through Nissan Bend. Krishai 6654 is going to go ahead and pull away as I decide to go into the pits. We are going to go ahead and get another set of medium tires on, and my software for recording showed that it was going to get a little sketchy. I'm quite curious as far as what's going to happen here. It's getting slightly choppy on my end, so if you guys see that, I do apologize. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and get out of the pits and see how many spaces I have dropped on the grid. And down to 13th. Can't complain whatsoever. I did go from 12th to 6th, and then from 6th to 2nd, so I was bound to drop down quite a bit. But now on lap 11, we're going to see if I can't set a better lap time. A 117.3, I don't quite know what my record times are in GT2. Hence why I have my personal records file pulled up so I could actually jot this down on it. And we can see if I'm actually getting better on each track as I race in Forza. But anyways, we need to try and catch up to, I'm going to call this guy Chris, that's in 12th place as I go through Samurai, going into Nissan Bend right now. Slowly but surely catching up to him, so I have a feeling he's not going to be too much of a issue on the straightaways, but maybe on the corners he might have me, but maybe not. It looks like I might have better corner exit. Fusion is in the pits as well. We're going to go ahead and get around him rather easily. Not even a battle. He was in the pits after all, so you can't really count that as a fair pass. He does say good race for some reason. I'm not quite sure what that was about, because it wasn't really truly a battle, but hey, if you thought it was a good race, then I say good race right back at you, buddy. Anyway, slowly catching up to Chris here in 11th now. On the road for a low 117s. Here on lap 12. Now that trap is pretty rubbered in. Trying to break right between that 100 and 150 board, going into Samurai right now. Getting a good exit, getting into the low ones or mid 116s if I can pull this off. Going into Nissan Bend, trying not to lose control of the car, trying to get the best possible exit I can. Modulating the throttle, I think I got a really good exit, and look at that, a 116.7. Cannot complain whatsoever, as I am an amateur after all, as you guys have probably heard me say dozens of times, as I lose control going into anime. I think I was a little too focused trying to catch up to Chris, because I did have him down to, I think, a second and a half before I almost spun out there. Or a second and a half time gap between me and him, but anyways. Getting down a Toyota straight, going into Samurai right now. Getting a little bit of curbs, trying to get into Nissan Bend. Got Chris back down to almost 2 seconds ahead of me, and he's in 9th place. I don't quite remember when we all shot up a position or two, but either way, kind of happy it did. Slowly but surely creeping up on him, getting it down to 2 seconds as we get through Nissan Bend there. I obviously have the better gearing. I am using a open source gearing setup. I left that alone, but I did add a little bit more downforce, and I adjusted the bump stiffness just a little bit to fit my how I like my car. And it was got Chris back down to a second and a half as we get through Katana here on the Toyota straight. Slowly closing that gap on him. Excuse me, a little bit of coffee. Coming back up. Going into Samurai right now. Getting right on his bumper. I think I am within draft range right now, so slowly but surely closing this gap on him. I'm within the top 10. That's always my goal in GT racing at least. Get a little bit of curbs there, and I go off into the AstroTurf. I got a little bit overzealous, trying to, overzealous or maybe a little ambitious, over-ambitious, one of the two. I cannot words right now. It is, well, it's 1 p.m. for me right now, but I was up until almost midnight the night before recording this voiceover, playing with the Nerdy Bobos. Which I need to figure out why my PS5 streams will not allow the party audio through. Hopefully I can get that figured out so I can stream with the rest of the crew and give you guys slightly more content over racing content. But anyways, going through Katana, trying to close this gap once again, trying to catch up to Chris here. I basically found myself just getting close to him, messing up really bad. He gets just about as far ahead as he was before I started catching up. and rinse and repeat. But anyways, he's going to go off course there into the AstroTurf. I am even closer than I was before going into Nissan Bend. Not official names for these turns, by the way. It is just what I'm coming up with on the fly because fantasy track, and I cannot find any sort of name that Turn 10 might have given it. So getting really close to Chris there. Almost collided there in a slightly better lap time. Not by much, just a little bit better, but in my defense, me and Chris there almost collided there, so good driving between the two of us, trying to avoid that little, well, we almost had a little bit of a collision there. Going into Katana now, I've got BPA behind me who, if you guys don't remember, at the beginning was the one who probably didn't see me right away and knocked me off the track. I get around Chris there. BPA within my draft, though. I get a little bit of AstroTurf there. I have to let off. Chris there, a little bit of collision there. Well, he was on the inside. Not enough to mess with the race too much. I ended up getting some curbing there and almost spin the car out. Luckily, I'm able to save it, as I just completely go off the course there for some reason. I think I looked up at my software that was recording this, just trying to make sure it didn't mess up at all. I have been having issues with it lagging on me from time to time, so I have a feeling that's what happened, but I could be mistaken. Still within the top 10 though, right at the gatekeep of the 10 spots. Not really where I want to be. I want to be a little bit further up. Trying like hell to get around Chris because, well, to be honest, I know I'm faster than him. I'm able to get around these areas quite a bit faster. Get on the straightaway as well. I know I'm able to push the car a little bit harder. So at this point, I'm just trying to get around them as we go down Toyota Straight here. Or Toyota Pass. I don't quite remember what I named it. Keeping this gap closed off so he doesn't go for a dive bomb, and going around Samurai. Keeping that corner exit slightly better lap time as long as I'm able to get Nissan Bend figured out, which I think I've got this figured out right about now. Pretty sure next lap I go into the pits and throw a set of softs on because I'm pretty sure that mediums wouldn't last the rest of the race. And just above the 116s, that is a really good lap time, if I say so for myself, as an amateur. And that's on medium tires. In fact, let me go ahead and mark this down. I'm going to keep a record on mediums, softs, and hards if I ever go on hards. So 116.001. Go ahead, save that. That is one for the books. Now to get the softs recorded. Now to try and catch up to Comrade. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to do this. He is a pretty fast guy on the track. But again, I'm pretty sure this is when I go in for a soft set of tires, if I recall correctly. Little video glitch on my end. Sorry if you guys end up seeing that. And yep, we are going to go ahead and head into the pits with a Rooks. Or a Rookse. Not quite sure how you pronounce that. Yep, soft tires right there. Recording getting slightly choppy. I do apologize for that, guys. If that comes up, at least it could just be on my end. 2.7 seconds in the pits. Let's go ahead and get on out of here. Taking a nice look at the Nerdy Bobo's livery that I have in my GT2 Corvette. And still in 10th place, exiting the pits. Lost no positions and gained no positions. Always a good sign as I try to get used to my soft compound. So now we're going to try and beat the 116 times on softs. If I can't, then I don't deserve to be keep track of my best lap times. Anyways, let's go ahead and push on through. Slowly but surely catching up to Arooks here. Braking at that 150 board for some reason. I think I'm just underestimating my braking power on softs right now, or underestimating my grip. One of the two. So far, Speedy Wombat with a one stop as of right now. Probably a bit of a try-hard if you ask me, but Trishai ended up getting right back around him. Don't want to say, or I don't want to talk smack to some of these guys, but I know a lot of the pros will talk about how one-stoppers and no-stoppers aren't really, well, they try to say they're not in it for the fun, they're in it for the win, but it is a racing strategy after all. And of course, if you make it work, you make it work, if you ask me. You're never going to see me do it, but that's just my viewpoint of it. As long as it's not a extremely broken glitch or anything like that, then it is what it is. It is what it is. As I'm slowly catching up to Arooks, he's got 2 seconds in penalties. Maybe I can catch up to him. We got 4 laps to go. And soft tires are getting a lot of grip. I'm trying to hold my line there. I didn't quite let off the gas quite soon enough. Lost a little bit of time doing that, but anyways, going around Nissan Bend. Slowly but surely catching up to Arooks. Maybe I could get into 9th place before the end of the race. At least by penalties. 2.4 seconds. A slightly better lap time. 1:15.9. Cannot complain whatsoever. Going into Anime. Trying to go into Katana, and I am right within Arooks' penalty range. Again, Arooks, if you're watching this, I do apologize. I do apologize if I am mispronouncing your name or gamer tag, whichever one you want to call it. If you would like to comment down below, tell me how to pronounce it, I will be sure to pronounce it right if we ever see each other on the track once again. Again, I try to be as respectful as possible to my opponents. As we go into Samurai, pretty much got 9th place in the bag as I'm trying to catch up to Arooks in a, what is that, C7 Corvette or the C8, one of the two. I don't quite know. I can't quite see from this tiny screen. Looks like another C7. So seems like I just got the superior tune, or I'm just a superior driver, which, if I'm a superior driver, then that's really kind of saying quite a bit. But a 1:15.2, I'm going to jot that down real quick, just so I don't have to worry about doing that a little bit later. I will save my overall best if I get a better lap time at the end of the race. Got about 3 laps to go in order to get around Arooks here. Granted, in order to take 9th place from him, I don't have to get around him, but I want to prove that I actually can. So going into Samurai now. He gets a little bit of curving. He gets a little squirrely coming out of it. Going into Nissan Bend, only a half a second behind. And I might actually get a better lap time coming out of Nissan Bend. Just right within his draft range. In fact, I might jot that down just in case. Specify it with draft just to be safe. Yeah, 144. Go ahead and mark this down with draft. There we go. Whoops. Save this. There we go. Alright, let's get back into the action. We got 2 laps to go. Can I get back around Rooks? Slowly but surely doing it. There we go. Right side by side, slowly creeping past. Going into Samurai now. He almost goes into the back of me, but it was a great race at the end of the day. Right behind SPV Crafter, I want to say that was. I didn't quite see it as Fusion got right back, or as he got around Fusion there. Getting a little bit of arrow wash from Rooks behind me, but I don't know if it's going to matter too much as we get onto this little straightaway, and I managed to get the move finished. And there we go. And of course, he's tucked up right behind me. He's probably going to try and make a move right here. Looks like he's going to back off of it. Couldn't really go. Or wait, no, he's going to take the inside defensive line as we go into Katana Bend. Nice little tap from him. Looks like we're a little even, but I'm tucked right in his draft. I'm going to try and get right back around him if I can. There we go, right beside him. Taking the defensive line, staying in it. Little love tap from him, and he has to back off. Giving me the position, and only 6 seconds away from Fusion, so... And he did do the 1 stop, so I have a feeling that I might have had him if I stayed, or if I would have done the 1 stop, go a hard medium strat, I probably would have had him, but it is what it is. It is what it is. There we go, crossing the line in 9th place. What a race. Guys, pretend I said something corny here to get you to like, comment, and subscribe. I think we had 5th best lap time, so again, guys, pretend I said something corny here to get you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next race. See y'all later.